In this video, I'm going to do a scientific professional review of the Philips 9002 OLED TV. Hello everyone, Vincent Teo from HDTV Test here. I'm a TV reviewer and professional calibrator. And this is the Philips 9002, the company's second OLED television. It uses a 55-inch WRGB OLED panel from LG Display and features native UHD or Ultra High Definition Resolution, HDR support for both the HDR10 Open Standard and HLG Broadcast HDR formats, Ultra HD Premium certification, integrated Ambilight bias lighting technology which is now synonymous with Philips televisions, as well as Android Smart TV platform. Now, the specific model number in the UK and Europe is the Philips 55POS 9002, and let's be honest, the acronym POS is rather unfortunate. I know it aligns with Philips nomenclature for their televisions. At a guess, P stands for Philips, O stands for OLED, and S stands for screen. But to many people who are well versed with internet culture, it can mean another totally different thing, and not in a good way. It's for the same reason I don't really go around introducing myself as a master calibrator. It just sounds too close to masturbator. But I was in Munich recently attending an OLED event. And spoke to a few executives from TP Vision. That's the parent company that's responsible for the development and sales of Philips TVs in the UK and Europe. And I found out that, thankfully, next year they are going to change their naming system, at least for their OLED displays. The new flagship OLED we first saw at IFA 2017 back in September, which was originally known as the Philips 9603, has undergone a name change too. So it will from henceforth be known as the OLED 973. But back to the Philips 9002, the design is lovely with a slim bezel and panel due to OLED's technology lack of need for a backlight. An illuminated Philips logo hangs from the bottom of the screen, and you can set the brightness of the logo or even turn it off from the user menu. The OLED panel is enveloped in a gunmetal gray casing, and like many OLEDs on the market today, the plastic back bulges out to accommodate the internal components, power supply, connections, and of course, Ambilight. The filter on the front screen isn't as effective as those on LG's 2017 OLEDs, Sony A1 or Panasonic EZ1002, so when strong sunlight hits the screen, there'll be some slight magenta tint, but it shouldn't be a problem in a darker room. There's a central U-shaped stand which is finished in tasteful brushed metallic silver. The connections are found on the left rear of the display, and all the sockets face either downwards or sideways, which is good news for owners who are wall mounting their TVs. There are 4 HDMI ports, but only HDMI input 1 and 2 are compatible with HDMI 2.0B and HDCP 2.2, so you will want to hook up any 4K HDR sources to these 2 ports. Let's move on to picture quality. OLED is self-emissive, so the Philips 9002 delivers all the good stuff of true blacks, vibrant colors, and wide viewing angles, injecting lots of pop and depth to all types of content. 55-inch OLED TVs are generally more uniform than 65-inch versions, and our Philips 55POS 9002 review sample exhibits very good white uniformity without any obvious color tinting, although there's still some mild vertical banding and reverse vignetting on very dark gray slides. Now, here's the cool thing about Ambilight. If you set it correctly, you can make these near black uniformity issues become less visible. To combat image retention and screen burn, TP Vision has implemented some fairly aggressive countermeasures on the Philips 9002. If you display a static image on screen, the TV auto-dims fairly quickly, or show a floating Philips logo or signal notification against a black background. In terms of calibration controls, the Philips 9002 offers 2-point white balance controls and a 2-axis color management system. Be very careful though, if the wrong settings are adjusted, it's actually very easy to introduce floating blacks and color clipping. I've seen many DIY video enthusiasts and even some so-called professional calibrators only interested in pursuing nice-looking calibration charts without realizing that adjusting the wrong settings can actually introduce more artifacts and make the picture worse. Just like not all mechanics are honest and competent, not all calibrators are the same. After calibration, colors look natural enough, but the Panasonic and LG OLEDs with their 10-point and 20-point white balance and tri-axis color management system or CMS are still more accurate. Motion handling and video processing are traditional strengths of Philips TVs. On the 9002, you can customize the motion to increase motion resolution from the sample and hold baseline of 300 lines to 650 lines. But if you are not careful, you can introduce telecinic judder to 24 frames per second films or noticeable interpolation artifacts when there's complex movements on screen. With the correct motion settings though, the Philips 9002 OLED can deliver really good motion clarity and smoothness without incurring significant artifacts or soap opera effect or SOE. Upscaling is right up there with the very best, with the SMPTE RP133 test pattern in 576i looking sharp and detailed without excessive fizziness or ringing. The new P5 engine deals well with lower quality, highly compressed sources, but for pristine sources we prefer to switch all unnecessary processing off to reproduce the director's artistic intent. Now, you would expect the Philips 9002 to handle near blacks in a cleaner fashion, but surprisingly, that's not the case on our review unit. When compared side by side with a 2017 LG OLED, using this heavily compressed dark scene from an episode of Father Brown recorded off-air from satellite, so it's in 1080 resolution, interlaced, the 9002 exhibited more obvious macro blocking in the very dark areas. Also, the transition from black to very dark gray, for example on a black jacket, looked harsher and not as smooth as the LG OLED. We think the problem is caused by a very irregular gamma tracking near black. If you look at this 56-point gamma measurement we took, there's a significant spike near black, leading to this very sudden hard cut in gradation from black to dark gray. We ran a couple of manual compensation cycles to try and clear this up, but unfortunately the issue persisted on our review sample. This harsh gradation also affects certain tones in HDR material too. In this scene from the 4K Blu-ray of The Martian, the Philips 9002 already showed more polarization in the sky, but there's this line here, this really obvious difference from one tone to another, which is not present on the LG OLED. Although to be fair, the LG OLED has been updated with the latest Technicolor firmware, which improved picture quality in several aspects. Otherwise, HDR generally look impressive on the Philips 9002 without any haloing or blooming artifacts that can affect even the best full-array local dimming LED LCD. Peak brightness on a 10% window measured up to 740 nits, and DCI-P3 color gamut coverage was 98%, earning the Philips 9002 its Ultra HD Premium certification. Full field peak brightness was 140 nits, and ABL circuitry, ABL stands for Automatic Brightness Limiter, is more aggressive than the 2017 LG OLEDs, so bright scenes wouldn't look as bright. But then again, no other TV brands on the market today could match LG's brighter ABL in 2017 anyway. The TV doesn't seek to tone map 4000 nit content differently from 1000 nit content, so bright specular highlight detail can be missing, such as the sun in the scene from the Ultra HD Blu-ray of Pan. But as I've explained in my tone mapping video, there's no official standard for tone mapping anyway, and on a display with lower peak brightness than the source, the manufacturer always have to choose between maintaining overall brightness or more specular highlight details, and it seems that TP Vision Philips is choosing to preserve overall brightness or APL. Input lag on the Philips 9002 is lower than its predecessor, the 901F, measuring 39 milliseconds in both 1080p SDR and 4K HDR game modes. OLED's inky blacks and fast pixel response time so there's no dark smearing or trailing, make games like Horizon Zero Dawn look stunning. A quick word on Ambilight. It's three-sided on the Philips 9002, and if you want to use it in a similar way to how post-production and mastering studios use bias lighting, you need to set it to a static D65 wide. The default Ambilight settings are certainly far too bright and can overpower shadow detail, especially in HDR content where the surround illumination should be kept at a maximum of 5 nits, according to the recommendation of the ITU, or International Telecommunications Union. The Philips 55POS 9002 will go on sale in the United Kingdom at a price of £2,000 this month. That means November 2017, when this video was filmed, which is the same price as the Panasonic 55-inch EZ952 or 950, and midway between the cheaper 55-inch B7 and C7 OLED and the more expensive Sony 55-inch A1. The strength of the Philips OLED is undoubtedly its Ambilight and potentially Philips Hue light integration, excellent motion handling, and video processing from less than pristine sources. And there'll be a bigger 65-inch model arriving in January or February next year. If you found this video useful, please click the like button and subscribe to the HDTV Test YouTube channel for more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you the next time.